back. It's your girl Icy Mona, and I'm here with another review of Jocelyn's Cabaret, ATL Season 2, Episode 11. So let's get into it, y'all. So honestly, this episode was kind of like a filler episode. Once you get to the end of this review, you probably are going to be mad like how I was mad too. Sorry about the fireworks. People's out here wilding. But let's get into it. So the first scene opens up is Jocelyn and Ballistic. They're in their bedroom and Jocelyn has a little portable pool in there. And she is stripping and dancing and putting on a show for him. She said that she is so appreciative of all his support with all the craziness in the house and just the cabaret overall. So he deserves a little something special. She's over there stripping on the pole, dancing the splits, like literally giving him a whole show. And in the confessionals, Jocelyn reveals to us that Ballistic is packing down there. And I'm like, girl, you was the main one in the house. Like, oh, don't fuck my nigga. Why would you say that on national TV where girls are probably going to fuck your nigga? But okay, that was nice to know. So then the next scene, it's Jocelyn and Ballistic. They are in the bathroom, and Ballistic, because before they had left to go to the bathroom when they were still in the bedroom, he told her like, oh, I got a surprise for you, like just wait. So his surprise for her was basically a nice hot bubble bath and a bunch of rose petals and flowers surrounding it. And he was basically in the confessional saying like, y'all gotta know how to treat your lady. Like, you don't love your lady if you don't give her roses and shit. So when Jocelyn walks out, like obviously she's like, oh yeah, but this bitch in the confessional, she was like, I thought he was gonna have gold laying on the ground. There wasn't no money. It wasn't silver. Just leaves on the floor. That's not what I expected, but I appreciate it. And I'm like, damn, bitch. Like, your girl could barely get a single rose. Like, I am literally 24 years old, and I think I've only had 2 guys give me flowers in my life. It's hard out here with these trash ass niggas, just saying. But yeah, I'm just like Jocelyn, like Ballistic, you could tell that he really loves her. Like, he loves her. But yeah, so they have this whole little like sex scene / music video thing. Jocelyn like takes off her top and it's literally titties showing. And she just dancing on him, grinding on him. It literally was like a whole little music video scene. I don't really know what the point of that was. I was kind of like, ew. But by the way, that song that plays in the background, they played it on the show before, but I love that song. Like, I'm assuming Ballistic produced every song that's like playing on the show, but that song is a bop. So then the next scene, it's Lucky, Chanel, Boss Tax, Sapphire, and Yummy's bitch ass. They're all in the little downstairs basement pool hall thingy. And Lucky's all up on the table. She got her titties out too, but she had the little coverings. But basically, they're celebrating her birthday. It's Lucky's birthday. I believe she's turning, 23? Because I think she was 22 on the show. But yeah, so they're celebrating her birthday. Sapphire's like, I gotta take a shot with you. They're starting to take shots. And honestly, y'all, like, when they told her happy birthday, I was like, that was a dry ass happy birthday. It was like, happy birthday. Like, I'm like, where's the excitement? Like, I know y'all tired, but like, happy birthday, bitch. Like, where's all that? It's like, happy birthday. Like, okay, that's whatever. So after that, they go out to the pool, everybody minus Sapphire, but Lucky basically starts skinny dipping. She strips down naked, jumps in the pool, and the ladies in there, they're basically just having a fun lit time. They're bumping, grinding, twerking ass, shaking titties on each other. Yummy had like her titties out too or whatever. So they're just having a good time. And then after a while, they're just chilling, sitting back in the pool. At first, Lucky starts talking about how she's like glad to spend her birthday in the house. It's the best birthday ever. And she talks about how, you know, this experience overall is unforgettable. And she tells them that her birthday wish is for them to just enjoy the moment, because I guess not allegedly, but she basically ended up revealing to them that like, yeah, it's my birthday, but I guess she got cut off by somebody that same day. I'm like, damn, that's harsh on your birthday. Like, what the fuck happened? So in the next scene, it is Jocelyn and Ballistic in this nice hotel. Ballistic tells us that he got a room for Jocelyn at her favorite hotel to basically get her out of the house, and because, you know, it's like the finale episode or whatever, and just there's been a lot of stress going on, all that stuff, so he wanted to treat her. Once again, very sweet man. Jocelyn is so blessed. But anyways, when they're in the hotel and we don't see Jocelyn on scene yet, but Ballistic is playing his PlayStation, playing video games, and Jocelyn walks out and she was like, I know you're not playing the PlayStation like on my big day. Like, obviously she wasn't like for real mad. She was obviously fucking around, but she was kind of like, what the fuck? I'm like, girl, you don't let that nigga play his 2K, like, chill. They basically cheers to having a successful performance, a successful cabaret, and they're sitting back on the bed. Jocelyn starts talking about how she doesn't know who she's gonna pick to like win the overall thing or just even the top four. And she tells Ballistic that originally she thought Lucky was gonna win the money and be in the performance, but she was like, oh, she's not gonna be so lucky if she can't get it together. And I'm like, damn, like she making it seem like Lucky is out here just horrible. And honestly, Lucky is one of the better ones, and maybe she's harder on her because she knows her personally. But I'm like, fuck, like she's been kind of dragging Lucky. Like, then she also says Sapphire is a good leader, but as far as dancing, some days she got it, some days she don't. And like I said in the last video, like I feel so bad, but like Sapphire is just, it's just not it. Sapphire is a good ass leader, honestly was one of the best captains out of Lucky and Yummy P, but she just you can't do everything, I guess, right? So then Jocelyn adds in there, she says, oh, she feels bad how she gotta eliminate someone. She was like, I'm a busted tear. In my head, I'm like, bitch, like, you know you don't give a fuck about these girls like that. Like, stop playing. You be dragging all these girls, like, behind the scenes. Hard, crucial, like, straight, just shredding apart, like, literally. And Ballistic is trying to tell her, like, don't be, like sad that you have to eliminate somebody. Like, at the end of the day, any L anyone takes should be taken as a lesson, not as a loss. Like, that's on them. They should be able to just grow from it, like, honestly. And that is real shit. Like, and that's a good way of thinking about, like, oh, you took an L. Like, nah, I just learned, so I know better next time, so I don't take this L again. And then Jocelyn, she's over there like, I'm just so glad you're like a kind, like, generous man, because my ex would have been trying to fuck all these girls and you're over there giving them advice and all that shit. Low-key, I'm like, are her and Stevie J like Jocelyn? Are y'all like sneaky link or something? Because this is like the second time you brought him up. Like, I'm assuming she's referring to Stevie J, but like, girl, what is going on when he drops off Bonnie Bella? But anyways, she brings up how she's so mad about Boss Tech asking Ballistic for advice or whatever without her permission first, and just going off how, like, basically she don't fuck with that shit. And when she watches back the show and she sees the way she came in, she really not about to fuck with it. So Boss Tech, watch out. But anyways, in the next scene, we get the ladies in the van. They're on the way to Jocelyn's Cabaret, the final performance. And honestly, at first it is kind of awkward in there. Like, it's dead quiet. I think everyone's just super nervous and there's a lot of tension. Honestly, negative tension, but like tension like, fuck, who gonna win it? Who am I gonna lose it? Walk out a loser, or I'm gonna walk out a winner, or $10,000 richer? Basically, Sapphire, she breaks the ice, and she was like, I believe she was the one. That's the voice I recognize. But she breaks the ice and she's like, how everybody feeling? Big Lex is like, I felt confident and happy, and I feel like whoever wins the money, like, obviously Jocelyn felt like you deserved it, and I'm happy for all of you guys. Big Lex already knows she not winning. Like, we seen the performance. I think Big Lex herself, like, she knows, like, okay, like, this is the end of the road for me. Sapphire, she basically gives a speech saying how she's so proud to be their captain and how they pushed her to another level mentally. I don't know if that was shade or not, but and then she goes talking about, I'm so glad I could bring y'all together, and like, blah, like, you know how Sapphire be getting into it, and just, yeah, low key with the extras. I low key peep Lexi Blow kind of like this bitch. Like, she didn't roll her eyes, but you could just tell she's just like, here we go. And then Yummy, she's over there like, I just want all of us to look good and do good. I just want all of us to win regardless who gets the cash. Fake. And then Miss Natural, she's taking a little like selfie video, and she's trying to get all the ladies in it. And she even tries to get Yummy in it, because she's like, Yummy, like, where are you? Like, I'm like, okay, so she's trying to, like, you know, be cool. Obviously, they're not going to be Ace Spoon Coons, they're not going to be friends, but she's trying, you know, to include her in it. But basically, in majority of the girls' confessionals, they pretty much say the same thing, that they're just super nervous and they're just waiting to see what's going to happen. In the last scene, it shows the cabaret, the before all the madness, no, but basically no one's there yet. It's just Jocelyn, Ballistic, Melissa, and obviously staff and crew helping set up the cabaret and getting all that stuff together. The ladies haven't arrived yet. But basically, they show Jocelyn doing a rehearsal of her, well, of the show, but like basically her part in the show. And it first opens up with her pole dancing and / just regular dancing to Live Your Best Life. I will say the performance was good. Like, Jocelyn, like, her rhythm and her dancing skills are good. I kind of did want to see more work on the pole, but I started getting the feel that when Jocelyn was in the strip club, she wasn't necessarily that stripper that could do all the pole work and stuff. Like, yeah, she could do a split, she can do a couple shit, but she was probably more so someone who, like, just was shaking her ass, you know? I don't think she was like Miss Natural up there, like, really, like, you know, twirling on it, but it was still good nonetheless. And then her next performance that she does after that, or that she rehearses, It is her singing her song. I don't have the song right now. I'll put it up in here. But basically her singing. And I feel like it's a good balance of the show. I like how like she comes out at first and it's just her dancing. And then the second one is, okay, her just rapping and singing. I think that was a good idea and a good balance. And then she does the performance that we've been seeing on the show with the girls by herself. Like I said, the girls aren't there yet. And no lie, seeing her do it this time full out, because she did it full out before when we first saw it, but this time was the best time she ever did it. And I could see what the girls are talking about, low-key, as like it keeps switching up. Because when she was doing this last snake part, because they do it so like, but when I saw her doing it, it was more like, I'm like, okay, that's completely like two different moves. Like, seeing her do it for real, I'm like, okay, this looks different. I could kind of see why she's mad, because it's like, why the fuck don't it look like this? But at the same time, you gotta know how to teach it like that every single time. So the ladies finally arrive to the venue, and basically when they walk in, Ballistic is asking them like, so how y'all feeling? Y'all been practicing? And that's when Sapphire, she starts preaching. She was like, they stayed down there till 2 in the morning. I would have had another appointment today in the morning, but we ran out of time. I pulled them all together. I got them there, all this shit. And it's like, girl, we get it. Like, you're a good captain. Like, cool. But I feel like maybe she's doing, I mean, Sapphire always does extra, but I feel like maybe she's doing a little bit more extra because she knows that she's probably most likely not going to make it into the cabaret. So she's really trying to like prove herself. Like, you know, I may have not made it, but I may created them to whoever's gonna make it, which I do believe is true because she really has been pushing them. And in her confessional, she's basically saying how, you know, she's exhausted, she's feeling under the weather, like she really took her captainship very, very serious. At one point, like it resumes back to like real time, and she was like, I looked in the video, and at one point I saw that I was messing up more than any of y'all, dead ass. Like, girl, we know. And then that's when Boss Tech, she starts crying, and some of the girls start getting emotional because, you know, it's the final routine, they're nervous, there's a lot of pressure, it's just starting to kind of, the emotions are starting to kind of get to like everybody. And then in Yummy's confessional, she's basically saying how she's not in the right mental headspace because all this shit with Miss Natural, and she feels like she's not going to be able to perform her best because of it. So finally, the ladies, they come out, or they walk out into the little runway thingy, whatever, and Ballistic brings out Jocelyn. So they're now in front of Jocelyn, ready to perform. Jocelyn, when she first comes out, she was like, wow, like, y'all look really good, like, no lie, because, you know, the first time when they showed up to the house, she was like, what the fuck, like, none of y'all came ready. But she does compliment them and tells them how she will be splitting them up into 2 groups of 4. So the first group is Lexi Blow, Lucky, Sapphire, and Chanel. So first of all, Jocelyn, for one, she was getting on Lucky and Sapphire hella hard because their spacing was off. They were too close to each other. And she straight up was like, y'all fucking up. Like, y'all haven't even started the performance yet. Like, y'all already fucking up. Like, how are you gonna be able to perform with me and you can't get your spacing right? The one thing that threw me off too is that Jocelyn was watching from like the back. And I'm hoping that there is a mirror in the front, because there's no problem with watching routines from the back. Most people in the dance floor, when you're getting to that like competition point and okay, it's like final routine, they're gonna watch you from the back, the front, the side, whatever, make you do it to the back, all that shit. But I'm like, I'm hoping there's a mirror there so she's in from the front, because I'm like, why would you just watch them from the back? Like, I would say at least have them do it twice, watch from the back and then watch from the front. That would make more sense to me, but I don't know. Jocelyn's doing her thing. Also, Lexi Blow in her confessional, she's basically saying how, like, you know, I got this in the bag. I just got to work on my facials. Like, I'm just exhausted, which I believe that, like, honestly, she does have it in the bag. In Lucky's confessional, this threw me off. She was over there saying how, oh, I got my girl Sapphire right next to me, and she should know all the steps that she's captain. So if I got to look over at her, I would be looking at her. And I'm like, that's like the biggest mistake that you can make in dance. Like, literally, growing up, they would always tell us, do not look at somebody. It's so obvious. It doesn't matter if you're in the front, the back, whatever. From the audience perspective, you can tell when someone is looking at somebody else. It's very obvious. So I was like, that's dumb. And I was like, maybe Jocelyn is right, but she really don't know the routine. Like, if you still gotta look. So basically, they do the routine, and I will say, out of everybody, Lexi Blow and Lucky were in my top 2. Sapphire, she actually turned the wrong way in the routine, and I'm like, damn, like, that honestly probably for real blew. I mean, her chances were probably already like whatever, but that probably like really blew it, because it's like, bitch, how do you turn the whole wrong way? Like, literally, she was facing the back and they was facing the side. It was like at this twerking part. But like I said, from what I could see, because once again, it's not like they show you the full thing. It's like, you know, a close up with this person, whatever. From what I could see, I felt like Lexi Blow and Lucky did pretty good. I feel like Lexi Blow has better like rhythm and musicality than Lucky, but Lucky did have better facials. I did peep that. After they finished performing, Jocelyn, she first dismisses Sapphire. She's like, okay, you go back. And then it's Lexi Blow. And then it's Lucky, and the last is Chanel. And then she tells her, like, you did so good. And this was the fucked up part. She literally told this in front of everybody. She was like, it's always the underdog that surprises you. She's like, the bitch you thought could never do it. The one who's a drunk with a big belly hoe. Like, what? Like, Jocelyn. Extremely disrespectful. Like, that right there was a straight, like, shade compliment. Like, you told her she did good, but then it was like, damn, I would never expect this from a big belly hoe and a drunk. Like, wow. And I couldn't really peep if Chanel was doing good or not. I peeped like a little snippet, and no lie, when she hit her body roll, like, it did seem like she had like the rhythm of it, but like I wasn't really paying attention to her, and I feel like the camera never really puts it on her like that, honestly. So in the second group, we have Boss Tech, Yummy, Miss Natural, and Big Lex. And Miss Natural's confessional, she's basically saying how like, damn, like, I just started my period right before this. I ain't had no dick, had no kitty cat, nothing. Like, my stress levels are high, but at the end of the day, I'm still confident. And then in Big Lex's confessional, she's over there like, of course I got put in the group with the lame bitches. I'm like, the lame bitches I can dance though, because girl. So out of their performance, I feel like, and I feel like it's kind of obvious, Miss Natural and Yummy did the best. They are both the trained dancers in the group, and Miss Natural also made a comment about that too in her confessional, saying like, you know, I'm a trained dancer. Like, I'm not saying I'm the best in this house, but like, let's be honest, you know? So I feel like they definitely did the best. Once again, Yummy in confessional saying how she felt like she didn't do good, but honestly, like, she did good to me. She had facials, everything, like, they both really stood out. So when it comes to dismissing them, Jocelyn excuses Yummy first. She's like, go. She's just extra. And then Boss Tech, and then Big Lex, and then Miss Natural. And she came up to her and told Miss Natural that she did good. Well, she actually said she did good. She was like, oh, you did aight. But in her confessional, she was like, she ate. I'm like, bruh, like, stop hating on my girl. So basically, the girls are back in the room. Like, some, not like studio, but they're like back in some other room or whatever. She sends them all back. Jocelyn basically asks Ballistic if he has any idea of who are the two girls that could dance with her, or any girls. And when she said that, I'm like, oh shit, she may not pick 4, she may only pick 2. Like, damn. But then she kind of like changed it real quick. And then Jocelyn starts telling him like, okay, I think I know like who I want. So then Jocelyn, she calls up both Yummy and Miss Natural. And in Miss Natural's confessional, she was like, why the fuck I gotta get caught up with this bitch? Like, this is not like what I wanted. And then Jocelyn starts talking about how, like, I know y'all have gone through hella shit. Y'all probably, you know, was munching on each other's shit. Miss Natural's face was just like, what the fuck? But she was like, with that being said, one of y'all is going to perform with me in Jocelyn's Cabaret tonight. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, and that low-key does add some more tension, because she's not picking both the trained dancers. She's picking one of the trained dancers. But then after that, y'all, it literally cuts off. We don't see who she picks. We don't see none of that. I'm like, wow, they're really dragging this out. Like, I already knew she was about to do this bullshit. But y'all, the next episode highlights, for one, the next episode, the season finale, is going to be July 11th, which I'm actually excited for, because I'm going on a girls trip to Vegas this Friday. So if there was a video dropping this upcoming next week, I wouldn't be able to like do it till like probably the week after, because your girl's gonna turn up, y'all, in these streets. Nah, the finale is not till July 11th. So that's what, in 2 weeks. For the next episode's highlights, first we see, like, you know, basically like the pressure's on, like all that shit. But the craziest thing we see is, from what it looked like Yummy attacked Miss Natural. Like, literally just start taking off on her. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then it shows Yummy acting fucking crazy. I'm assuming the parking lot. She was like, none of y'all bitches can see me, blah, blah, face all up in the camera. Like, literally, like, here. Like, no distance. I'm like, this bitch is really crazy. And granted, I don't know what's gonna happen, because that's not till the next episode, but I'm like, I'm assuming like you probably ruined your chances, because why are you fighting the day of the performance, just literally minutes before people are about to come in? Like, are you serious? Like, whatever. They show Jocelyn, they don't show who she's gonna award it to, obviously, but it's like, you get the $10,000. So yeah. So that was the end of that episode. Like I said, y'all, it's not going to come back till July 11th for the season finale. Like I mentioned once again, I am going on a girls trip this upcoming weekend to Vegas. So I may be putting out a little vlog video of my girls trip in Vegas and all the shenanigans we get into. It's definitely going to be a fun time. But with that being said, that is the end of this review. If you like this review, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my socials, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.